Hello. So it's been a while. I've been offline because I just haven't had much to say. I haven't had much to say, and it's a lot of strange things. A lot of, little strange things going on with the energies. And I thought it was best, excuse me, I thought it was best to stay to myself and, kind of work on my inner self a lot more. Not that I wasn't already doing that, but everybody can see that the energies of this particular year is very different. So a lot of people I've been noticing have been kind of just laid low. I have noticed that too. So I see I'm not the only one. But aside from that, here's what I want to say. I get the importance of learning to love yourself. This is something that us brown women, we talk about self-love all the time, don't we? We're always talking about self-love. But the problem is not in self-love. Okay, I get that. That's a great message. I work on that and I've been successful. Here's a problem I do have, and I just felt like uploading this particular one because I do want to hear some of other people's stories and see what your experiences are. So I am recording this because here's my issue. There's nothing wrong with learning to love yourself because, right, love comes from within, right? But why does hate have to keep coming from the outside, though? Now, here's what I'm saying. Some people have trouble with hate, but then at the same time, they have self-love that comes from within, and they have love that still comes from without. I.e., maybe a family. They might have animals, they might have children, right? So, along with love coming from within, they have love coming from other sources, right? But see, the tricky part comes when, and I want to know if anybody else can relate to this. The tricky part comes in when there is no love, period, that comes from another human being, period. There is no love. And so you learn, because people who never had love from another human being, they're the best at learning how to love themselves. And see, the thing is, that's not the issue. You do miss a human connection, but at the same time, when you learn to love yourself, the love is a little different than what you see displayed on the outside anyway. Okay, you understand what self-love really is. But the issue that I kind of take is that why is it so easy for people to hate? Why is it so easy for people to hate? So people who constantly have to work on self-love, okay, because it's never ending, right? The only reason I see for people to have to keep working on self-love is because humanity. It's because humanity, excuse my language, I'm going to say this because it's my opinion. The reason why people have to keep working on self-love is because humanity is trash. Because humanity is evil. If 95% of people were gone today, it's not something I would have to constantly work on, because where would I get hate from? The trees? There would be no concept of loving yourself because you will only know yourself. A lot of people are lost today because of indoctrination and being a part of families and relationships or whatever, social media. A lot of people are lost today because of so many outside distractions. And so the need to constantly working on self-love is because of so much crap that happens on the outside, right? If it was no outside distractions like it is, there wouldn't even be a such thing as learning to love yourself. It wouldn't even be a concept. because you wouldn't know of anything different. The reason why we have to keep working on loving ourselves is because it's so much hate out there. We have to, and so, and this is going in every racial group, right? People have to learn to love themselves. Why do they have to learn to love themselves? Because majority of people only understand hate. So a lot of the stuff that you get from the outside world is hate. So now you got to dig from within your own universe to give yourself love. Now I'm going to go into the next problem I have with that. I don't have a problem with that. The issue comes in when I have to keep dealing with the outside world. Okay? Because, okay, I'm responsible for self-love, but I'm also responsible for pushing away hate. I'm also responsible for guarding myself. You know how you have to have thick skin? You got to have thick skin. Let me tell you something. Constantly having to have thick skin closes off your heart. Constantly having to have thick skin because the world is getting more narcissistic. They're having more hate on them. So constantly having to have thick skin closes off your heart, and it closes you off from divine love. Because the only love that you really know is from the self, because humanity is for the most part, is full of hate. And I want to go into an example real quick. It's like, here's an example. You know how black women would just an example from what everybody heard online. It's from what everybody heard online. How black men, this is, because I'm not concerned about what they say anymore, okay? But how black men went online and said some of the nastiest things about black women that's imaginable. I get that black women ain't perfect, but what black women did not do is go online and say some of the ugliest things about black men, right? That's what black women did not do. Oh, goodness. Now, oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. Now, that's what black women did not do. As imperfect and as many flaws as they have, they did not go online and just do everything possible to tear down black men. They didn't do that. Now black women are responding, but they still not tearing down black men in the same way that black men tore down black women. They still not tearing down black men in that type of way. But here's the thing. Here's the example I'm about to make, right? So there's a YouTuber, where her platform focuses on colorism, and here's where I'm going, right? She would talk about how many times black men would come in her comment section. A black man would say, how, we're not responsible for your self-esteem. We're not responsible for lifting you up. Black men will say that. She will say black men would always say that to her. We're not responsible for lifting you up, right? You're responsible for lifting yourself up. Okay, because I'm going to wrap it up, my point about self-love, right? How black men, this is just an example. This is not to have a conversation about black men. I don't really want to entertain a conversation about black men. I'm just kind of using this as an example because talking about black men is really redundant. It's just a perfect example right now. That's all that is. It's just a perfect example for right now. But I'm not trying to have a conversation about black men. Okay, so. That's what black men would say when she would talk about about colorism and how a lot of them made it their business to tear down, especially the dark-skinned black woman. And they would say, well, it's not our responsibility to uplift you, but it's their responsibility to tear you down, though. See? And so here's the thing. Here's how you have a double job, right? Here's how you have double jobs. Because, okay, fine, it's your responsibility to love yourself. It's your responsibility to get self-confidence from within. It's your responsibility to lift yourself up. Okay, but while I'm trying to lift myself up, I don't need you constantly tearing me down, because now you're making my job a lot harder. So now I'm going to go back to the self-love thing, because I don't want to stay on black men too long. That's just an example, right? If it's my responsibility to work on self-love, and it's my responsibility to lift myself up, then it's too much to tolerate to have to deal with then hate coming from an outside source. Because now, on top of you doing the job and doing the inner work to love yourself and lift yourself up and to have confidence, you have to constantly combat the hate that comes from people, okay? That comes from people. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to self-love. Now, some people are, I would say, lucky enough, blessed enough, whatever word you want to use, to have love that comes, that might have love around them, that they might get from the inside, from their inner self, but it also can come from humans too. And so when they do receive hate, it's a balance there, okay? It's a balance. Because the same way they might be receiving hate from people, they're also getting love. But when you are a person that don't really get no love from what you would call the outside world, and the only love that you can get, you have to do it yourself, okay? The only love that you have had to come from years of inner work. It makes you not want to, it makes me not want to deal with humanity that much. And if I didn't have to pay bills, I would not deal with humanity that much, because humanity is full of hate. And that's an imbalance. That's an imbalance for me. To constantly work on to get love, self-love from my inner self. But then on top of that, have to work a double job to block all the hate. That is, I'm talking and I need to drink something, put some, oops, sorry, my phone fell. I need to put some water in my throat, drink something, because I'm talking. Excuse me, my phone fell because I made a left turn here. But it's a double job, and I can't tolerate it no more. I cannot tolerate it. This stuff that constantly comes off of people. Because after you finish dealing with one person, you got to deal with another one. And you got to deal with another one. And you got to deal with another one. And you have to constantly do spiritual work. And constantly got to use all kind of whatever. Some people use crystals or whatever they got to do to make sure they block off negative energy that comes from other people. Why are people so full of negative damn energy? What people are so full of negative energy. And that's problematic for me. Because just like the example that I made with black women, see, people will tell you you're responsible to love yourself. You're responsible to uplift yourself. But then they make it their business to tear you down. So on top of you spend a lot of time doing inner work. Now you got to spend extra time blocking negative energy that comes from humanity. And like I said, it's an imbalance for people who don't really get the love from the outside world. Okay? That's an imbalance for people like that. It's more of a balance for people who get it equally, right? They might get hate from the outside world and a bunch of mess and a bunch of drama, but they also have some love around them at the same time. And I'm going to close this with saying this, that might sound strange, but it gets to a point where this world ain't nothing to want to live in. Not for me. This world is not something that I should be proud of living in. And I asked myself, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I'm not trying to say what my purpose is. Well, go search inner for your purpose in life. No. Because I understand what this so-called construct is. And this construct is a trap. Okay? And it's a waste of time. And it's actually a waste of a gift. Because anybody who have all this love in themselves, and all that self-love came from them and not from a mother, not from the womb. There's a lot of people who are a motherless child, okay? It's a lot of people who are a motherless child and could not get love from their family. And then barely get love from the outside world, because people, for the most part, love, they don't really, they love their own families, They may have friends and stuff like that, but for the most part, they're going to be more loyal to their own families. So it's not the same, I guess, not in this particular society. Okay? It can exist, but it doesn't exist in this society. My point is, it doesn't exist in this society. It exists a little bit. But for the most part, people are going to want to be more loyal to their families because they feel like family is first, right? That's an attitude that society has. And so when you don't get love from your family, it's hard to get it anywhere else. And yeah, like I said, love comes from within. But the problem with that is when you are rejected from the time that you come out the womb, and then you have a family that has shown nothing but hate. You constantly have to dig from within to get self-love. And it's like if I was just in the place where there was nothing but trees and hardly any people, okay, yeah, that's fine. You got to learn to love yourself. You got to keep yourself company. Okay, but keep the hateful motherfucker. Excuse me, I was about to curse. I'm a curse. Keep the hateful motherfuckers away from me then. Because if I got to do all this work, and I got to constantly do all this work for self-love, then I'm not going to add extra hours to it to block off your hate. That's the problem, that so much hate comes from the outside world, but when it comes to love, it has to come from within. And let me tell you something. You create your own reality. Let me tell you something. Yeah, you can create your own reality, but it depends on how your reality started since you were a child. It depends on how your reality started when you was a child. Because if your reality started off with nothing but people hating you, then you go your whole life protecting yourself from hateful energies. You go your whole life protecting yourself from demons. And so when you go your whole life protecting yourself, you learn how to protect yourself more than you learn how to open yourself up. Because, unfortunately, when you were a child, the people such as your parents, such as your mother, especially such as your parents, they kind of created your reality for you by whatever issues they had going on that they didn't deal with. They already created your world since the minute you were born. They created your world for you. Okay? They created your world from you from the time you were born. And when you grow up, you don't understand creating your reality and manifestation. Babies don't understand that crap. Little kids don't understand that. You finally get it when you grow up. But here's the thing is, when you grow up, when you get in your 20s or 30s, you finally realize it. and you do the inner work necessary. But the problem is you still have to come into contact with hate. I don't know how to explain this any better. Because people are like, we got duality, you got, no, it's starting to look like it's not duality anymore. It's starting to look like it's just nothing but hate. It's starting to look like it ain't no duality no more. Even in duality, there should be some damn balance. I don't see balance. I see a lot of wickedness. I don't see duality no more. I see a lot of wickedness. Okay? And I don't know, that's it. All right, talk to you later.